Good evening. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. We're going to my recipes tonight. This one is for Nancy K. She asked me a little while ago if I had a recipe like this. This is the one I came up with. I don't know if it's the right one, and I haven't had a chance to try it. But this is basically the recipe I thought of when she asked me about it. So cherry coffee cake. 1/2 cup butter or oil. 1 cup of sugar. 2 cups of flour. 1 egg plus milk to make 1 cup. So put your egg in the measuring cup first, the liquid one, and then beat it, and then add enough milk to make a cup. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Mix well and pour into a 9 by 12 inch pan. Spread with cherry or blueberry pie filling. Then you combine 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour. You spread this over the cake, and then you bake it for 45 minutes. Nancy K, is this the one you were looking for? French silk pie. I added this because we have the holidays coming up. And if you're like me, you want to make sure you get the ingredients you want. And this is a favorite pie. 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. 2 cups of milk. 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. 1 large chocolate instant pudding. 1 baked pie crust and whipped topping and chocolate shavings. Soften your cream cheese and whip. Add the milk and whip. Add your powdered sugar and your chocolate pudding. Mix well. Pour into a baked pie shell. Top with whipped cream. Put chocolate shavings over all. French silk pie. Apple pudding. 1 tablespoon of butter. 1/2 cup of sugar. 1 egg. 1/2 cup of flour, 2 to 3 apples, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Peel the apples and slice into the pan, into bottom of pan. Sprinkle 1/4 cup sugar and cinnamon over the apples. Cream together the butter and the 1/2 cup of sugar. Add the egg and mix well. Add flour and mix thoroughly. Put the dough over the apples. Bake uncovered at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Apple pudding. Fruit cocktail dessert. 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of soda. 1 egg beaten. 1 can of fruit cocktail undrained, or I think they call it mixed fruit now. Topping is 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of nuts. Mix the dry ingredients. Add the eggs and fruit cocktail. Pour into a greased 9 by 13 inch pan. Sprinkle with brown sugar and nuts. Bake at 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. Glorified rice. I had this here because we're looking for a glorified rice recipe that's like what my grandma made. And we've been searching, and no matter what we come up with, not like grandma's. So I saw this, so I thought, well, okay, this is about that she might have done this. I don't think so, but maybe. We do know that one of the big differences is whipped cream. She used whipped cream. In fact, I don't think there was any Cool Whip available at that time. So, anyway, glorified rice. 1 pound of rice cooked in salted water, and make sure it's drained and washed. 1 package of lemon jello. 1 pint of whipping cream, whipped. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of crushed pineapple, undrained. Set your jello until slightly gelled. Beating the sugar, the whipped cream, and the pineapple, and then add the rice. I don't know if it's the same thing. Could try it and we'll find out. And if it's not right, my brother's going to make sure I know it. Baked chow mein. Hamburger hot dish. 1 pound of hamburger. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. 1 can of cream of chicken soup. 1 cup of onions chopped. 1 cup of celery chopped. 1/4 cup raw rice. 1/4 cup soy sauce. 1 soup can of water. 1 can of chow mein noodles. Remember, these are old recipes. These were from the 60s and 70s. So they probably don't have cans of chow mein anymore. We use the bags. But they were, yeah. And not only that, you don't have to buy that soup. Make your own. Okay? It's cheaper. Brown hamburger. Put in a baking dish. Top with the remaining ingredients except for the chow mein noodles. So you put brown your hamburger, then you put your soups, your onions, your celery, your rice, your soy sauce, and canned water all together. And bake in at 325 degrees for 2.5 to 3 hours, stirring occasionally. Sprinkle the chow mein noodles over all the last 15 minutes of baking. Coffee bars. This is an old recipe too that I made when I was a child. So you know how many years that is. And it calls for chocolate chips or Hershey bars. I'm assuming that we probably use chocolate chips. Now I can't remember Mom buying chocolate chips at the time, unless we actually needed them. So my feeling is, as this recipe comes up, is that she did it. We did it. But before we did it, I had to run uptown and get some chocolate chips because it wasn't a pantry item. 1 cup of margarine. In fact, we got this recipe from when I was younger. We had a family gathering almost every Sunday. There was aunts and uncles on the one side, and the cousins. I mean, we were all together. And it was usually out at the lake during the summer. In the winter, it depended on, they were in different houses. They just took turns. Okay, and this recipe was one that showed up quite frequently, besides when I made it. 1 cup of margarine, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 1/2 cups of flour, 1 egg yolk beaten, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, chocolate chips or Hershey bars. Mix the margarine, brown sugar, egg, flour, and vanilla together. Spread mixture into a 10 by 13 inch cookie sheet. Bake at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Do not let it get brown. While still warm, add the chocolate chips or Hershey bars over the top. Return to the oven for 1 minute. Remove from the oven and spread chocolate chips. Sprinkle with chopped nuts if desired. And 1 more for the night. Peanut butter refrigerator cookies. Remember I said you make these into logs and you can freeze them. So you have a refrigerator. So you take out cookies and bake them within a few minutes. 1 cup of peanut butter or margarine. 1 cup of brown sugar. 1 cup of white sugar. 1 cup of creamy style peanut butter. 2 eggs. 2 3/4 cups of sifted flour. 2 teaspoons of soda. Mix butter and sugars together. Add the eggs, peanut butter, flour, and sugar. And soda, it should be. Shape into 2 logs, 2 rolls. Refrigerate overnight. Bake at 375 degrees for 8 minutes. Sometimes I make it in no more than 2 rolls. because it's all just me, and I don't eat that many cookies. I just want a few at a time. So I'll make it into maybe 3 or 4 small logs. That just give me maybe 10, 12 cookies. That's all I need. It's just for me. Anyway, that's our recipes for today. God bless.